Well, we're back. We're back into Alice and Chuck's kitchen. It's been completed. They've been living in the house for a number of months and have been really enjoying the house. We wanted to come back and kind of show the finished product, but also kind of highlight three things that we discussed earlier about kitchens and bathrooms, most indigenous to kitchens, is how we look at attaining the space that the customer wants. Number one, we wanted to respect the flow and the character of the house. So the apportionments, the finishes, to colors, to all that, we wanted to kind of have the same flow throughout the house. So it's got the feel that it's always been this way. So we wanted to have that age look to that, and so the appropriate materials and trim, cabinet selection, those kind of things were all extremely important to attain that. This is where the business of the kitchen happens. This is what I call the dirty part of the kitchen. We got the sink and we have the dishwasher. The heated areas and cooking areas are actually to my rear, to the rear of me right now. So this is where all the prep goes on to the left side in the island. Also it's outwardly facing. So as she has guests, as Chuck and Alice talk about their day, they can sit here and socialize and converse and face-to-face while they're doing what they do in the kitchen. So that is extremely important. It's a social gathering place of the house. So people can they can socialize, entertain, and still get work done in the kitchen. So that's why we designed it this way. It has a galley feel to it, but that's the utility, and that's actually how they're used to using the kitchen. They just wanted more space. The second piece is we definitely wanted more light in the kitchen. This is a very cramped galley kitchen, believe it or not. Off my left shoulder, about 3 feet would be the other wall originally from the house and the kitchen, so it was extremely narrow. And while it was relatively efficient, it didn't pass the test. And the test, when I ask about kitchens, is there's a couple of things. Do you guys eat out a lot? That tells me how you want to use the kitchen. Secondly, who does the kitchen, the cooking in the kitchen? That tells me a lot. Number three is, are you a baker or are you a chef? Because the way the kitchen's set up and the appliance layouts and just how ergonomically you move through the space is extremely different. So we want to know those things in order to get the best finish, also the best product selection, and marry that with what the other three things that we just talked about. It's a lot of math, but it's that extensive, because this, by doing that work up front, it defines the success of all of this. Alice and Chuck take pride. They make cheese. They make their own cheeses. So how the appliances respect and the appliances that we purchase for this, we're taking into account when we do that, especially refrigeration, a certain level of humidity as some of that stuff ages. So we took that into account when we built this. And knowing that, asking those kind of questions are extremely important if you're going to make an investment like that. Whether you have $10,000 to spend or $80,000 to spend, it really is. Those are important questions, and any builder should be asking those questions, and those are questions you should ask. And if you don't know the right questions, that's the benefit of ETL Construction. We know, and we're going to be able to ask the right questions, get it out of you, define those specifications, things you probably haven't really considered. And that's the experience that we can bring to the game and bring to your project to get you exactly what you want.